Hi, I don't know what happened there. I believe they're trying to stop me exposing this, making a new video. As soon as I try to record, I get an unexplained error. So another TI sent me this. There's two documents I want to show. I think this is very crucial that TIs read this, even if you're not in the UK, because there's probably something like this in your country. This is something called covert human intelligence sources, and you will soon see how it bears similarities to what we're going through. So I'm not going to read it, but I will flip down so you will have time to read it, because I'm reading it. Okay, this is an official document off the government's website. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get into it. Right. Right. Now, we've TIs, we've experienced enough of that. Destruction. Okay. We'll get into this shit. Right, so look at this. Application quality. Confidential journalistic material. This is something they use. RIPA, regulation of investigatory powers. Builders are back. They're taking the scaffolding down, so if you hear any noise, that's what that is. Last day they'll be here. They're on the other end of the house. So for human intelligence source activity, whatever that is. For the purpose of facilitating. Right. Okay, they covert the user relationship. Wow. To obtain information or to provide access to any information to another person. As TIs, we know how people will try to befriend us and then betray us. Covertly disclose information by the use of such a relationship, or as a consequence of the existence of such a relationship. So they all start relationships with you. It describes it here, right? Infiltration. The relationship is established or maintained for a covert purpose, if and only if it is conducted in a manner that is calculated to ensure that one of the parties to the relationship is unaware of the purpose. Wow. A relationship is used covertly and information obtained is disclosed covertly if and only if the relationship is used or the information is disclosed in a manner that is calculated to ensure that one of the parties to the relationship is unaware of the use. You know how we describe they use our families, they use our friends, right? Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm surprised this is freely available on the internet. But I have to thank the person that sent. I'm sorry, I can't remember your username, but I will mention you in the description. Thanks a lot for this. This is very interesting. Public authorities usually take action. Okay, we're targeted by the paramedics, the fire service. Alright. Undertake covert action. Alright. Yeah, risk assessed, yeah, right. Maintain cover. This is, I guess, a loophole how they can get around the target. The reactive nature of the work of a CHIS and the need for a CHIS for human intelligence or whatever it is may make it necessary for a CHS to engage in conduct which was not envisaged at the time. So what it's basically saying is they will engage in conduct that they originally said they weren't going to do. Or is this conduct the psychological warfare? I guess this is how they cover the psychological warfare. Okay. Necessary to protect life and limb. Okay. When these people are actually causing a lot of violence with what they're doing, right? Yeah, definitely. This is basically talking about informers and the gang stalkers. Wow! Read this. Unlike directed surveillance, which relates specifically to private information, authorizations for the use or conduct of a CHIS do not relate specifically to private information, but to the covert manipulation of a relationship to gain any information. Covert manipulation, right? ECHR case makes it clear that Article 8 includes the right to establish and develop relationships. Any manipulation of a relationship by a public authority, one party having a covert purpose on behalf of the public authority, is likely to engage Article 8, regardless of whether or not the public authority intends to acquire private information. Wow. It is therefore strongly recommended that the public authority consider an authorization whenever the use or conduct of a CHIS is likely to engage an individual's rights. Whether this is through obtaining information, particularly private information, or simply through the covert manipulation of a relationship, an authorization will be required if a relationship exists between the subject and the CHIS, even if specific information has not been sought by the public authority. So this here is telling you they will basically become your friend, maybe even be an intimate relationship with you, just to spy on you. Just to spy on you to the council, right? And it says they will manipulate. Okay, we'll read this. Establishing, maintaining, and using a relationship. The word establishes. It's too much to read, but I'll let you read it. I'm going to read it too. Set up. Relationship set up. Okay. It's funny it mentions shopkeepers because, sorry. Fucking my computer. It's funny they mention shopkeepers because I used to get shopkeepers targeting me and being very rude to me Okay, that's how they're talking about how they, they follow you and they find out who you see. Okay, so example 1. Intelligence suggests that a local shopkeeper is openly selling alcohol to underage customers. Without any questions. Wow. How we say they target us with children? Read this shit. A juvenile is engaged and trained by public authority and then deployed in order to make purchase of alcohol. In these circumstances, any relationship, if established at all, is likely to be so limited. It says here they use children. For surveillance. Right here. And Shane Gibbs, you're telling me that this doesn't happen when it's written here. Right? So this is basically them using the council. The council, they're training them to act like MI5 or something. This is not security services or police. This is public services like the council that are being authorized to do this James Bond type of shit, right? Yeah. Wow. Public volunteer. Covert relationship. Wow. Many sources volunteer or provide information that they have observed. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is basically about getting everyone to become an informant. So, here. They have to establish and maintain a relationship for the purpose of providing access to or disclosing the information, or where the information is already within the knowledge of the individual. See what I'm saying? This is basically getting untrained individuals, our everyday neighbours, to act as spies for the government. Taxi companies, right? I'll say they use the taxis, have access to personal information, right? And I've said they use the taxis. Wow, this is ridiculous. Unbelievable. Exploiting a relationship for a covert purpose, right? Exploiting, check the wording, exploiting a relationship. Disgusting. Nazi shit, but yeah. And I will should be considered so obtain evidence of criminal activity in the well, we know full well that they're not just obtaining evidence for criminal stuff. They're TIs, they obtain evidence about us so they can target us. Right. Look at this. Balancing the system with intrusion into the private or family life. When we say our family targeters of the subject of the operation, any other person who may be affected. Right. This is how they cover it. They probably say the TI is accused of something, or they make something up, and that gives them the excuse to do this. And we know they don't do this. There's no proportion. They're doing this willy-nilly. Right? No, it's become more of an operation, an investigation. This is psyops, psychological operation. Risk of interference with the private family life. Right. They've already said that they will manipulate relationships and start relationships to spy on them. Look at this, where CHIS activity is deliberately proposed against individuals who are not suspected, or any involvement in the matter being investigated. Interference with the private family life of such individuals should not be considered as collateral intrusion, but rather as intended intrusion. Okay, so they're basically saying they don't have to, even if it's just people around the suspected person, they can spy on them and do this to them. Right. So they can just basically do this to anyone, pretty much. It's looking like that anyway. If they like, there's no court order. Right? They can just choose to do it when they feel like it. There's no court order or paperwork they have to get through to do this. This is how they've got around it. By instead of using the police, they're using the council, right, and all the other government agencies. Community impact. No doubt. You didn't think about that, do you? Intrusive surveillance, which is what they're doing to us as TIs. It's intrusive, it's deliberate, right? Right, so as TIs, when we tell you perps are also being watched, right? They've got you by the balls, and it says here it may be necessary to deploy surveillance against a potential authorized CHIS, which is, I guess, what they call the perps. Okay. Calling telephone conversations. Right. And that's what they do to us as TIs, they record our conversations. Yeah, I don't think they're doing that. Juveniles. Under 16 years of age, right? Using them details how they use children as informants. Disgusting. Crazy. It's not East Germany, this is the UK. But you'd think it was, but how this has been, come on, using children to spy on people, right? Just to spy on people, what the fuck? We say we're targeted outside of the country, right? Can be given use conduct both inside and outside the UK. So they're doing this shit outside of the UK too, which I know. Overseas, they're doing this overseas, right? Wow, they can deploy these fake agents overseas, right? So these aren't trained people. These are civilians that they have spoken to, coerced, and with no training at all, sending them overseas. Wow. Maybe authorized. Right? So, you know, when we go to other countries and the police in the country are targeting us too. Right? Here we go. Now we're getting some stuff here. Right. Online covert activity. Establish, maintain a relationship with a subject of interest for a covert purpose. On behalf of the public authority, they're not doing this for the police or the security, they're doing this for like the council. This is crazy. Facilitate a meeting in person. And what happened with Targ in Aberdeen, right? Okay. Maintain a relationship with subject. Covert purpose. joining chat rooms. Right. And this is not the police doing this. This is the council. This is it says public authorities, and they're going abroad. It says they go overseas doing this. Just people that the council has asked to do. Wow. Just wow. Okay. And you know, when they do this, they subscribe to our channels to follow us, right? Okay. You know, when they trolling us online and stuff, right? These are what these are these people. Detecting crime. Purpose of detecting crime. So now this is how they get around it. So they can say, "Oh, we're just doing this to detect crime." Then they can do it to anyone, right? Any tags. Bitch ass motherfuckers, man. Public authorities. Let's see which ones are able to do this. Undermine democracy. Oops. No, this is not fucking with it, because I didn't press that. Let me just find where we were. Cover online action, right? Even though I'm not connected to the internet. They're doing, because I didn't press nothing that should have done that. Let me find where we were. Okay, we've gone past that. We read about the overseas online covert. Here we go. This is about where we were. I was reading this. A public authority, right, can authorize it. Detecting crime goes beyond the prosecution of offenders and includes actions to avert, end, or disrupt the commission of criminal offences, which is basically talking about the gangstalking, right? And they're not doing this to criminals, right? So it describes very subtly there what they're doing. Right. There's another document about this as well. I've got 2 documents to read about this. Yeah. They're jeopardising it, alright. They're abusing it. Handler. Notice the word in the handler of the CHIS. The handler of the perp, right? The controller. These talking about the cowards that hide behind these people, right? And when he's talking about actions to try and stop crime, he's talking about actions to harass you. What they would do, such as the use of the police helicopter, the police to harass you, NLP, all that. But they're not doing it to criminals. But I believe how they get around this is they will falsely accuse us of being criminals. Right? Right. Duration. We know full well it's longer than 12 months. Juvenile, using the children. Right. In certain circumstances, it may need to be adjusted from 12 months. And you know full well that it's been going on longer than 12 months. And we knew it. It says they don't even need to have evidence of a crime to do this, just they can do this to detect crime. So basically it gives them the right to harass you, to spy on you, to invade your privacy without any, you know, court order. It says they need a court order, but I don't believe they're doing that. They may be renewed more than once. Yeah, that's probably how they do it, you know, keep doing it. That's how they get around it. Right. I think we're on to something here. They find out all that, for fuck's sake. You know, this, I believe this is them trying to stop me showing you this. Let me find where we were. Because I'm just clicking the mouse and it's flying off, right? Try and find where we got to. Look at that. Hey, wording. Check the wording on that. Handlers. Let me find where we got. Here we are. I think. I'm not sure. Let me find that. Oh, here we are. Yeah, this is roughly where I got to. It's fucking up again. Right, it's not going down. I need to click on it. Subject of the investigation, nature and details of relationships. Right. Of course, they're not just doing this to criminals. They're probably labelling as that. Career history. And this is not an investigation, it's gone beyond that. This is probably the cover they're using for it. So saying it's an investigation. This is not an investigation. and they ain't cancelling it, that's for sure. It isn't stopping. I don't know any TI that has had this stop, you know. Handlers. CHIS is basically what they call the perp, I think. Individual officers acting as controller and handler. Check the wording. Right. The wording to me stands out a lot with targeting and gangstalking. Controller, handler and oversight of the CHIS, which I believe is what they're calling the perp. We know full well they don't care about the security and welfare of the perps. You know, they put them on the front line and leave them. They don't care if they get fucked up. They try to provoke people with them, so they obviously don't give a shit about them, what could happen to them. It's all about getting the TI in trouble. Motherfuckers. Some snake shit this is. So, yeah. You know, these motherfuckers, I bet they don't have any records on it. I bet they destroy them. What gets me is how easy they can do this to someone. It's like they don't even have to have proof of a crime or anything. They can do this just if they think they're doing something. There's no oversight or it's guilty till proven innocent mentality. That's what it is here. You're guilty till proven innocent, and even if you're innocent, they can still do this if they feel like it. That's the kind of vibe I get from it. And it definitely has, because they're using illegal psychological harassment techniques, and they don't care about our rights. Obviously, they only care about that they can get away with it or think they can get away with it. Right. They don't care about that. definitely a breach of your human rights, what they're doing. Because they hide behind national security, right? What's that economic well-being got to do? So you're telling, basically what they're saying here is they don't care if it is good for the economic well-being, right? It comes above you. Like I said, the government only care about money. They don't care about the people. This is why everyone's turning on. Wow, so, you know, it's okay if they make an error, but if it's good for the economy, right, it doesn't matter, right? Disgusting shit. But not surprising. Not surprising. What about your own people committing crimes? Trying to cause accidents? What information, you know? How to harass us better? We know they don't destroy any details on us. They probably create a big file on us. If you believe they delete it, you're kidding yourself. Right? They spread the information about you, right? I can't believe that they said, I'm not surprised, you know, but it says these people can go abroad. They can follow the person abroad. You know, and I've been harassed abroad by English people targeting me. Poor motherfuckers. Yeah, until you decide you don't need it. Which is probably till we die. Yeah, you do put yourselves at considerable risk because you're fucking with people, that's why. I bet as soon as some shit happens to you motherfuckers, they don't give a fuck about you. You're disposable. Podcast motherfuckers. Shh. Oh, believe that, you're not going to be able to sustain this. Now, we're going to blow this shit out of the water. Believe that. And we know there's no care about our information, you know. I don't give a fuck about that, they'll just tell everyone. tell these perps where we live and shit. Material can relate to his physical or mental health or to spiritual counselling. Again, what the hell has that got to do with solving crime? Spiritual counselling? What? You know, I know you people definitely don't like spiritual people. What's that got to do with solving crime? To me, it's just an intrusion. Again, you know, this is deeper than just solving crime, right? This is about control. This is about learning everything you can about the person you're targeting, under the veil of preventing crime or terrorism, basically. Obviously there is, and I know you don't like that. You don't like there being a free press and freedom of expression. You obviously don't want that. Like I said, this is an example of the negative communism, right? They could have, and yet they still, with all this, they couldn't stop the people in Rotherham being abused. Are you telling me this is to stop crime? Well, what about all those children in Rotherham that were getting raped, or to this almost the present day that you refuse to help? Right? And I bet you had this shit there. You just let this happen because it's for economic benefit of the UK, right? That comes first, right? Doesn't it? Ridiculous. We know they manipulate journalism and stuff, the press. Yeah, according to your standard, anyone that's free speech will be labelled a terrorist. It's like saying, okay, if we think it's terrorism, which the label for terrorism has been expanded to pretty much encompass anyone that speaks out against the government, they can fuck with your shit, basically. That's what they're saying. Of course, they use the terrorism thing as a way to cover their ass. Again, national security. It's a public authority. This could be your council. Deliberately target. Check the wording again. Basically saying a public authority may need to spy on you. And this is the public authority. It's not the police. It's not the security services. A public authority, right? So your council, you know, could be the NHS even. Let me just put my computer in. I think my charger's upstairs, so I'll have to get it. But you see what I'm getting at? How it's the government's becoming like an octopus, right? So it's like, it says there how they will get people to start relationships to get intelligence. As TIs, how often do we feel like we're being interrogated by people that speak to us, right? You know what I mean? Okay. And this is a public authority. It's not MI5. This is a public authority that is acting as an intelligence service. Okay, your council. Completely treading over your privacy here. When the council or the NHS can invade your home or spy on you, what privacy do we have? Again, it's like they're not going through the criminal system. It's what they want. If a criminal fugitive was seeking advice from a lawyer, right? That's nothing to do with the council. That's for the law to decide, the judge to decide. But again, it's interference with your right, your freedom, and your right to a free trial. That is, but doing it in a way which is hard to. So it's like saying if they decide that they think this person is a fugitive, even though they've got no evidence, and they don't want him to get a fair trial, right? They will spy on. It says they will spy on the communication to the lawyer. Okay. Now, is that a free country that we're living in? I don't think so. Yeah, engage in conduct which was not envisaged. Lawyer, so they target your lawyer. You won't get a fair trial because they're going to manipulate your lawyer, because when with reason to suspect, again, there's no evidence. All they've got to have is they think. So they will manipulate your trial if they want to lock you up, right? We know they don't do that. We know they don't do that. Yeah. Basically saying they can keep it if they want, you know, in a very complicated way. Right. And today, before I go on, they've been targeting me with the police sending death threats. Had a hearse go past me, and then 5 minutes later, police car goes past. Also, strategically placed that car with the court number plate where I cycled today. I didn't have my camera with me. I didn't have any clothes on that I could easily carry it. I should have took it, but also having a car that went past 888 Nick, so they're trying to say I'm going to get nicked for exposing them. It might be because my dad's name's Nick, so maybe, you know, they're trying to let me know, yes, we got him to target you. But yeah. And obviously not overseeing it very well, because it's not an investigation no more, it's a psychological operation. I can't be bothered reading this, but I'll leave it up for a few seconds so you can. To me, it's all mumbo jumbo. Economic well-being. Yep. So I'll just show you this. It's basically MI5, and again, basically MI5 and MI6. There are FBI equivalent that came through a few years ago. These are the guys that are running the show of this program, basically, and these guys. But actually, is this listing the people that can do this? Juvenile is to be used as a source. Vulnerable individual. They manipulate people, right? Oh, it's just basically describing the kind of levels you have to be to do this. Government. Any county council can do this, right? Either health and safety, food standards, they can do it, right? Financial conduct, they can do it. The food standards agency can do it. They can get people to become like their James Bonds. Pretty much. I mean, police and NCA, and fair enough, but so I hope this is interesting. I know I find this very fascinating, and you know, personally, I believe this is related to what we're going through. Definitely, this is like the framework that they're using. This is like the scaffolding or the rebars inside the building they're using to target us. Pretty much, this is how they cover it up. So yeah, I hope this helps someone out there.